Go ahead.
Shall we do that? Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Di Fateh. We are all very lucky and blessed, at least, to have Mangal Dhillon give us his valuable time, especially this time from India, Punjab de Cho. It's almost at 11:30 at night time. I got connected to him through Jatinder, who has been one of our satsangis in Sanode Gurdwara for many years. And then Jatinder had shared some clips of Mangalji, I think a couple of months ago, maybe 2 or 3 months ago. And then when I looked at some more of them, it got so evolved and so fascinated कि शुक्र है रब दा कि मालिक दी रहमत इन्नी वड्डी है ना ते होई किस तरह मालिक ने आप आके ना ते कृपा करके ना जोड़िया और किस तरह नु क्या कि भाई तुसी संगत नु जोड़ो क्योंकि ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਦੇ ਕੋਈ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰ ਸਕਦਾ with the blessing of Malik everything becomes possible. So then I was fortunate to kind of connect with him, and he was kind enough to give us the time. So I would say, Mangalji, please share whatever you wish, however you wish. You can make it interactive. You can talk about it initially, and then have people join in whenever they feel like. Whatever is up to you. You can take a session on that. So Rahmat Karo, may Babaji bless every soul in the universe and help us all connect to whatever you have to say to us. All yours.
Thank you, Mr. Paul. Hello to everyone and Sat Sri Akal. Well, I have been
Very good.
I think something went wrong or what?
No, it's fine. Go ahead, please.
Okay. I been part of the film industry, we call it Bollywood in Bombay, in Mumbai, in India. I acted in a lot of films and serials. Basically, I've been a theater actor. And like everybody, just chasing, like it's a rat race. I was also part of that rat race. I wanted to be a big star in Bollywood. And in that process, like I'm a gold medalist from Punjab University, Chandigarh. And I did a lot of plays and acted in a lot of serials and films, and everybody admired my performances. Even the top stars, they used to admire my performances, my voice, and my basic capability as an actor. But most films which I did, they were flops. And I used to fight with God that why you gave me, I used to drink, I used to eat non-veg, and I used to fight with God and curse God. And I used to challenge God that I know you are almighty, and just destroy me, finish me off. Why you gave me so much of talent if you were not going to give me opportunity? So it went on for quite some time, but God has his own ways. It was like, a child who wants to play with fire and father is stopping the child, but child starts crying. But father doesn't bother about it because he knows what is the best for the child. So exactly same thing happened with me. And it was like, whatever I tried, it was being blocked, no exit. And while doing this, in a couple of years, like say 10 years, it was like a U-turn. Like I'm not able to follow my dreams and I'm being blocked, but I'm struggling. So it became a U-turn. And then I started working on Sikh history. I made a film called Khalsa about the entire life of our 10th master, Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj. It was all some sort of prompting going on. It was,
yes,
that God was, the Almighty Lord was guiding me, directing me. And after Khalsa, I showed that film in Punjab. I showed that film in England, in America, in Canada, Europe. Got great response. And then somehow I was prompted to make a film at the Golden Temple, a 24 hours holy Maryada, we call the practice at Golden Temple. So I made that film. Then again, I screened it in Punjab and in UK and in Canada, in America, few parts of America. And then again, I was prompted and I made a film called Prakash Guru Granth Sahib. It's about the uniqueness of Guru Granth Sahib. And I screened that film in UK and in Europe and in Punjab. And then again, after some time, I was prompted to make a film about Gurbani. It's our Guru Granth Sahib, the holy scripture of Sikhs. And I was prompted by Almighty to make a film about Gurbani, the powers, divine healing powers of Gurbani. So I made one film called Gurbani De Kautak, which means miracles of Gurbani. And that was the actual turning point. But in this process, when I was making this film, Prakash Guru Granth Sahib, about the uniqueness of Guru Granth Sahib, I was sitting in my office. I had my conversations with God, but I did not realize it. It was like I used to get all the answers. And when I was going to show these films, whenever I said anything, I requested God, I pleaded to him, and he did it instantly. Not once, so many times. And all those incidents I put on my channel, Mangal Dhillon channel. It's like Rab Bhagwan Se Meri Baatein. That is the title, and my conversations with God. So we have put almost 106 episodes there. It took quite some time to realize what was going on, what was happening. Like I used to record, somebody used to come to my office, like a bank manager or somebody else, like they come to my office for some other purpose. And after 5-10 minutes, I used to start talking about spirituality, about God. And it used to go on for 1 hour, 1.5 hours, 2 hours. And then suddenly I used to say, oh, I'm so sorry. I mean, I did not realize what's wrong with me. And then those people used to tell me that, no, now we understood why we came here. This was the purpose. It was an eye-opener. I had my account in HSBC Bank. They told me that, why don't you do these seminars? Because people need it very badly. I said, well, I don't have the energy, and I'm not some saint or Baba or something like that. So how can I say, okay, you all come there, and I will be, giving a discourse about spiritualism. So I said, it's not my cup of tea. I'm just like, sometimes it comes and I start talking. And then I started, like, whenever it came, I used to feel that it was wonderful stuff. I never studied anywhere. I never read it anywhere. I never heard about it. From where the hell is coming? And then I thought it was something really wonderful. I should start recording. So I started recording it. I have hundreds of hours recordings with me. And it used to just start extempo. It used to go on for 1 hour, 1.5 hours, 2 hours, 2.5 hours. And sometimes a stage came and while recording, I started crying. So I used to stop the recording. And then after some time, a stage came where I felt that, well, that's the truth. Why should I hide? Why I'm, embarrassed about it? Let it be. When I'm gone from this world, or if I put it on any medium, let people know I went through this state of mind. So I started recording that process also when I'm crying. And it may sound strange to some people that God talks to you mainly through thoughts. And the justification and the idea given to me was that he is the Almighty. And Almighty uses the tool in this world, which is the other thing, which is the most powerful, that is the thought. Thought is the most powerful in this world. It starts with a small, tiny thought, and there can be a revolution. So God connects with you with thoughts initially, because a thought can make you and thought can break you. That is the power of thought. So it started happening on thought level. It was a conversation within myself. And I used to get very clear-cut answers, very crystal clear. Sometimes I used to laugh. Sometimes I used to cry. And sometimes I used to raise my hands that I'm sorry, my Lord. In that process, one day when I was working on this film about Guru Granth Sahib, that was the first time he spoke to me very clearly, and he asked me, it was very brief, this one question. Okay, my child, tell me now, you were right or I was right? Your path was right or this path is right? And I cannot explain what happened to me until date. I lie down on the floor and I keep asking for forgiveness, that please forgive me, my Lord. I was so stupid. I kept cursing you. I kept abusing you. But you were doing the ultimate thing. You were going to show me the ultimate path, because so many actors, directors, filmmakers came to this world and went away. Who cares? But you were showing me the ultimate path, that my child, don't go that way. That path takes you to the darkness, because this world is an illusion. And you will leave everything here. You can't take anything with you. So the coffin doesn't have a pocket. And you showed me this path. And this is the ultimate path. Now, this was the beginning of my conversations with Lord. But still, you know, the materialistic world is so powerful, and the glamour of that world where I was, you tend to forget. You just, you know, remain in your own world, and Maya, the glamour and the money and the power and the name and the fame, all these things all the time around you. So I used to forget, and again, you know, go on that path somehow, was not able to leave it completely. So, but there was a plan that I will be in Punjab, and I wanted to cover Punjab because Sikh history was a virgin field. Nobody made films about Sikh history. And I used to feel very upset about it, that Sikhs have, you know, they have, if you go into Sikh history, you can't find, it's an unparalleled history, the kind of sacrifices they have made. Our 10th Master Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj, our 9th Master Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib, our 5th Master Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj, and Guru Nanak, who started, the founder of Sikhism. But people are not aware about it. It's the latest faith and unique faith. So that was going on in my mind, and I wanted to just capture history and project it. So I thought, first, you know, charity begins at home. So I'll start from Punjab. I'll cover entire Punjab. I'll show these films in every village in Punjab. So that's how this idea came to my mind. God gave me. So where I'm sitting now in my office in Punjab, it's a remote area, outskirts of a village and in the fields. And here God brought me. That's again a different story, long story. I won't go into that. So I bought this place and I made this house and started living here. Here, which is the biggest turning point in my life. And because God has fixed every place, you know, I put one, mostly those videos are in Hindi and Punjabi, but a gentleman from Australia, his name is Dan Baxter, he saw my video. Now, again, I talk about this, that God, you know, He's omnipresent, He's everywhere. And we call it Vidhi in Punjabi, that He makes a situation when He blesses you, if you have done good karma in the past life. So Dan Baxter, you know, again and again, my videos used to go to him, in front of him, and he used to avoid them. One day he just clicked, okay, what is it? It's coming again and again. And he started watching, and he saw it was in Hindi. So he couldn't understand. So he went to his wife. His wife was an Indian. And so he asked her, and she started explaining to him. And after 6 months or 8 months, he got in touch with me, and he said that I enjoy your videos, and I've stopped drinking, eating non-veg, and I'm so light and happy, contented and clean. After watching your videos, it was such a great experience and guidance that I can't thank you enough. So I said, Mr. Dan, how did you understand my language? This is my wife used to explain. And because of Dan Baxter, I recorded a couple of videos in English also. It's not my language, but I tried, and God was kind that I could express myself. Like I'm just trying, it's not my language. So it's all his blessings. We are now trying to do subtitlings in English. Today only those people came to me and I gave them the contract, and from tomorrow onward they'll start. Now I'm here and I put one video there that is in Hindi, Adhyatm ke char siddhant, 4 laws of spirituality. And in that is said that when snowfall takes place, every flake of the snow, the place of that flake of the snow is also prefixed. It cannot go here or there even little bit, even any millimeter, it can't go anywhere elsewhere. Is that prefixed? So when everything is so prefixed, why we are so paranoid, why we are so worried, why we just go crazy? Because of our ignorance. Like why I used to wonder why God, like from that glamour world, why he brought me here, it's absolutely nowhere. I mean, like in the fields, when a invisible power from God's house, God's court, a part of God, because every time I try to address that power as God, I was told not to call that power God. I said, why? It's the part of God. I'm a particle of God. Ansh, they call. I said, well, the part of God is also God, because my hair, my nails, my fingers are me. The name may be different, that this is my finger, but it's me, it's part of me. Nail is mine, hair is mine. So I used to have this conversation later on. But initially the way it started, like, then I realized that why I was brought here, because this place was fixed, like our birth and our death is fixed. The place and the conditions are prefixed, predestined. Where will you die? When will you die? In what kind of circumstances you're going to die is all prefixed. Death doesn't come to us. We go to that spot where we are destined to die. It's like that expiry date, when the medicine is made, the expiry date is given there. Similarly, when we take birth, the expiry date is already there, and place and everything, and the circumstances, that this guy will die in hospital, this guy will die at home, he will die a natural death, or he'll die in an accident, whatever, is all prefixed. So this, what happened with me, was also prefixed, that God will bless me and this will be the place. I used to live in Chandigarh in 5-star hotels and Ludhiana, and there's one resort nearby, 1 kilometer from here. I saw their rooms, and it's a very beautiful resort and beautiful location. I admired those rooms, but what I'm going to do here, So either I will stay in the main city in Ludhiana, or I'll stay in Chandigarh, in those 5-star, 4-star hotels. And God must be smiling at me, my son, you don't like this resort now, but 1 kilometer, or you can say 1 mile further ahead, in the fields, I'll make your bedroom, and you'll be sleeping there, living there, and you'll be all the time thanking me and saying, it's a wonderful place. It's a wonderful place. I don't want to go anywhere. I run away from 5-star hotels. I mean, my friends have their 5-star hotels, and I can't. I just live there 3 days and run away. And I come here and take a sigh of relief and say, oh, thank God, what a place you have given me. So this was happening with me. But when I was sitting in this office where I'm sitting now, and was just cleaning one desk of mine, and I came to this table and I saw my mobile phone was lying here, and I saw one message. It was open, and it was in a messenger. I did not realize that how this message open. Otherwise, we all know that you have to go into the messenger, then you have to open, and then you have to go to that particular ID. Then you open that message, and then you can read it. But here that message is open. I did not bother. I just read the message, and I wrote. I thought it might be some saint or some Baba, like in India we say them, and he must have got to know about me from Facebook or from YouTube. And he must be trying to make me his follower. So I just wrote Hari Om Tat Sat and sent it back, and then started doing my work. Next day I get a message, and it was all in Sanskrit based, the olden days language, Hindi and Sanskrit. And it was written there, Beta, like my son, you did not believe me. I came to your place and you have made a very nice ashram. You were busy cleaning. I came here, opened my message and went away. When you were an emperor, Maharaja, at that time, I don't know how many verses earlier he was talking. At that time, the girl who was my sister, she was standing there and she was not looking well. Okay, Dr. Rupa, who helps me, who has been there, she was there, she was not well. And okay, further it was written that now I'll tell you certain things. You can ask me 5 questions, whatever you want to know, and I'll answer you. But I'll tell you certain things about your life so that you believe that I'm not joking. So it was amazing what was written there about my personal life, about my office, the kind of things were lying there, about the horoscopes of mine, my daughters, my sons, my wives, the dates, the times, and so many other things which only I knew. I was quite flabbergasted. And I apologized immediately and I said, well, now I can't think of the questions. Let me just think, give me a little bit time and I will. So I was writing in Hindi, it was interesting. I wrote the message and then I started thinking what questions to be asked. So I asked my questions and I got the answers. Then a different kind of journey started. It continued for almost 6-7 months. It happened on 10th November 2018 in this office and continued till 2019, maybe till I think May, June. I have no question left. Whatever questions, I thought it was some Baba living somewhere and he must be having Android phone with him or internet facility, or maybe his follower might be having. Otherwise, how can he message me? So initially, I did not believe. I thought this is some Baba, some saint who has got all these divine powers, spiritual powers, and he is trying to, communicate with me for some reason. So I kept asking the questions, where exactly your ashram is, where do you live? I just want to have darshan. I just want to have one glimpse of you. And then gradually, after some time, I was told that my son, I don't have any ashram. So I thought, then you might be sitting under some tree or anywhere, wherever you're sitting, just give me one chance. And I kept my car and everything ready. The moment I get, okay from there, I will leave. The moment I get where I have to come. So gradually I came to know that my son, I don't have ashram, I don't have body. That was something very strange, that the person doesn't have ashram, doesn't have body. And I said, if you don't have body, then how do you write these messages to me? So he said, okay, I'll tell you one day. Then I said, okay, I want to, if you are a power, you are God, or you are, extension of God, then I want to see you. So I was told that you have to do, we call it, I think in English, penance. You have to do tapasya. You have to do that, because if I come in front of you, you won't be able to handle it. So I said, okay, I agree, but that may take long time. But can you make me feel? He said, yes, that I can make you feel. So the day it was told to me, I went to my bedroom and he made me feel. I cannot explain the experience. All goosebumps, goosebumps all over my body. And I lied on the floor and started crying and screaming. I started calling Dr. Rupa that come. Prabhuji, I used to call him Prabhuji, Guru Pita Omkaraji Maharaj. He has come, he is here. And it remained for some time. And later on, I got this message that, you see, I made you feel and look what happened to you. So I said, okay, so can I hear you? He said, no, I've worked out this is the best way to communicate with you. You are extremely intelligent person. God has been very kind to you. And I asked this question that, like he told me that, I'm not telling you everything in detail. I'm just trying to tell you the highlights, how it started and how it just changed my entire life, my perception. Then I was told that I was an emperor, Maharaja tha. I was a Maharaja, king of kings, Chakravarti Samrat. And he told me all the names also. Then I said, why I came down to this level now? Then the reasons were told to me why I put almost everything on my channel, because I got the permission that if you want to guide other people, whatever guidance I've given you, shown the path, the wisdom you have now, you share it with people, so that they can also benefit. So I started this series. So I was told what karma, bad karma I did, and that's why I was demoted. From Maharaja, I came down to a soldier. And from soldier, I came down further down. And I was asked that, how low you want to fall, my child? Isn't it enough? And I said, then why you chose to help me, to guide me? I mean, who are you? Then he explained to me that that day I cried a lot. I went outside my office and I was lying on the floor and I was rubbing my nose and I was thanking the Lord. And till date, each pore of my body is indebted to Almighty Lord God and to Guru Pita Omkaraji Maharaj. He might be sitting here watching me. He told me that, my child, one day God called all his dearest children and asked them who will go, to guide me, like about me it was, okay, who will go to guide him, and they will have to, we call it tap, penance, of 3 days penance, you have to give, sacrifice. And all of them refused, to help me, to guide me. And Guru Pita Omkaraji Maharaj said that I took this challenge. I said, why you took this challenge? He said, because I owed you something when you were an emperor, when you were king. I said, what did you owe me? And he said, well, you had one disease, which was contagious. So everybody could have been, got it. You had 9 queens. And so it was decided that you will live in forest alone. And the Rajguru which was a spiritual guru of mine at that time, his daughter, Dr. Rupa, who's there with me now, she, against the wish of her father, went to look after me there in the forest. And this Guru Pita Omkarajima, this Pa, he said, I came to see her after quite some time. And you offered me water because I was very thirsty. I said, you told me that I was very kind and generous king, and I could offer only, a little bit of water to you. He said, no, my child, the source of water was it was far away. You were also thirsty. I was also thirsty, but you did not drink that water and you offered me. That's why it became extremely important. And that's why I came to clear that debt. Now in spiritual world, it matters a lot. I understood from Guru Pita Omkaraji Maharaj. And that's why I came and I gave 3 days penance, you call it tap, we call it in Hindi. And I came here. And then he said, now I want you to cleanse yourself. And for that, and I want certain bindings. I want, you are a man of your word. When you were emperor at that time also, even in this life, you gave a word to your wife and still you are keeping that word, that promise. And I want you to make a promise because you are planning to make a film. It was all in that Hindi language, that olden days Hindi, they call it chitra. Film, they call it chitra. And you may go further down. And the important thing which I must share before I go, that how he made me promise and send me to the Golden Temple. And before that, he made me to confess here. You can't imagine. It was amazing experience. He said, when you drink, when you eat non-veg, and when you commit adultery, or you have multiple relations with women, that is the root cause of your fall, your downfall. And you did a lot of this kind of stuff, and that's why you came down and down and down, and you were demoted. Because he said, when you do that, whatever good karma you have, she takes away half, and whatever bad karma she has, she gives you half. So you get demoted, you are loser. Spiritually, karma-wise, you are a loser, you get demoted. A karmic demotion takes place, and that's how you kept coming down. Now, he made me confess here, where I pray. He said, you have to sit there, Dr. Rupa will sit there, I will be present there. And my child, take out all the rubbish all the dirt out of your system. Just be honest. Now, I went there, I sat down, and everything I confessed there. And then he wrote to me. He said, now you understood why I made you do this. You understood it. I understood why he made me do that. And then the amazing thing was that I was in New York. I mentioned all these incidents in my videos on my channel. One incident took place in a hotel room. One lady from California came. There's a friend of mine, Mr. Balwant Singh, he lives in New York, and he had a store, and he had some problem. And this lady met me when I was in California, and she said, I'm an expert. So I said, yeah, this lady met me there, and she was planning that they have welfare houses there in America, and a lot of old people live there, and government gives some money. So she told me that if you can open this kind of center here, I said, I can't come here regularly. So she said, if you can come initially a couple of times or once a year, and you tell us, take a workshop, then we will continue. So I felt that it's an interesting idea that old people need it. They need that spiritual thing which will help them here and hereafter. And in any case, they are rejected and dejected people in depression, they're sitting, they feel lonely. So I said, yeah, that's a good idea. And one doctor came and they said, we are planning near Fresno, something like that. They had one meeting also with somebody who took me there. So in that connection, so I'll discuss, she came to New York and we were sitting in a hotel room. it was a snowfall there that day, and she wanted to have vodka. So that friend of mine said, "Okay, I stopped drinking now." I said, "I also don't drink." So she said, "No, this is not right. You have to give me company." So that friend said, "Okay, you give her company." So I apologized to Almighty Lord. I said, "You know it. I don't want to drink, but if she's insisting, so I'll just give her a company. Otherwise, I don't want to drink." Now, whatever you may call it, that it was my internal weakness. I made an excuse or apologized to God, but I wanted to drink, whatever you may say. So I sat down, and this friend was sitting there, and we started drinking. She had a couple of drinks, and suddenly she got up and went to the washroom. And suddenly we heard a sound, and she fell down. And we opened, with a lot of difficulty, we opened the door, and she was bewildered. And she was saying, "Oh, somebody punched me on my face like hell. Somebody punched me on my face." And we thought that she's hallucinating, or maybe this hotel is haunted. We tried to understand, we could not understand. Then she came out of the washroom, she sat down for some time, and then she went to her room. So room was right opposite my room. She went to her room. We didn't understand. I went to look on the net that if it's a haunted hotel, then somebody else also must have written something that this kind of thing happened there. And next day, we went to the showroom, and later on she came. She didn't come to my room. She went to her room, and from there she knocked after some time. Balwant Singh went home after dropping us. And she said, I said, "Yes, I want water." So I gave her the bottles, and she went away. Next day, she was supposed to leave, fly back. She told me that, I don't know, there was some force which was stopping me, it was not letting me enter your room. Okay. We went to see her off. She went away, and she kept sending me photographs of face, chest and face. It was all swollen. It was all bruised, black spots. And she was saying that, "Look, my family is not agreeing with me. They're not believing me, that how somebody can fall in the bathtub and get injured like this. So why don't you believe me that somebody bashed me up? Somebody punched me very badly." So I was not able to understand what exactly happened there. Was it a haunted hotel? So it happened in 2016. In 2018, Guru Pita Omkaraji Maharaj tells me, "My son, you went to," they call it Videsh, that you went out of country, and in that room that night, you know what happened. We call them, our martyrs. We call them Shaheed Singhs. Couple of people had told me earlier, in Punjabi, we call it Shahidi Pera. So they said that those Shaheed martyrs are always protecting you. They're with you. You should concentrate, and you'll have darshan. You'll be able to see them. Well, I said, I'm clean-shaven man. I cut my hair, and these guys are talking nonsense. So when this Pa wrote to me that, "You remember how those martyrs, those Shaheed Singhs, bashed up that lady, beta, my son, right in front of your eyes. Still you don't believe it? And but that day you disappointed them. Why? You sat down and drank with her. You disappointed the negative forces, and the positive forces were fighting with each other, but you disappointed the positive forces, and they had to leave you, and they came back because you sat down with her." Now, that was very painful me to hear, and I said that, how will they forgive me? He said, "You go, we have a place of martyrs here, that is Chamkaur Sahib. And they said, you go there and apologize." I said, "How will I come to know that they have forgiven me?" He said, "You will come to know." So I started going to Chamkaur Sahib and rubbing my nose and and asking for forgiveness. And then after some, I used to get message, "Okay, very good, my child, I'm happy you went there. You did meditation there. You asked for forgiveness. and very good, continue. So after some time, a couple of months, I started thinking that I don't know if they've forgiven me or not. And then they gave me the 3 indications, obvious indication that I was forgiven. Now, what I'm trying to say to conclude my conversation here, I was told that you have to go to, they used to call Guru Ram Das Ji Ishwar, our 4th Guru, 4th Master, that you have to go to the Golden Temple, to Harmandir Sahib, to Guru Ram Das Ji Ishwar, and you have to promise there, I will be present there, and Dr. Rupa will be sitting there, she'll be the witness, and you have to promise that from that point onwards, every woman except your wife, besides your wife, every woman in this world will be your daughter, your mother, or your sister. That's the way you have to look at them, and that's the way you're going to treat them. So I went there, I did that, and a couple of other things I was told to do. I did that, and I was told that I'm very happy, and now follow this path. So all the questions, I had hundreds of questions, and that state was such, it was difficult to even think of questions because your brain stops functioning that way. You are in a different kind of state of mind, like a trance. But it was a great period, that 6-7 months period. I can't explain it. 3-4 times he made me feel his presence, and I can't explain what used to happen to me. And then I was told that I'm at the conclusion in those videos on my channel that all the answers are given to you, path is shown to you, the guidance is given to you. Now follow that path, whatever you want. You wanted to see God, you wanted to be one with God, then get up in the morning from 4 to 6 every early morning, have bath and pray. And prayer also was told that this is the prayer you have to do, and this is the way you have to do, and you will be able to be one with God. So after that, once or twice on one New Year, is in your world, they call it New Year. My son, Happy New Year to you. We have different system. And once I was quite serious here, I was not well. That time he came. And amazingly, I forgot to say that he used to click photographs, through my mobile phone. First time my phone automatically started clicking photographs. And I thought there's a malfunction or there's something wrong with my phone. And next day I got the message, no, my child, I came. I was giving you indication that I'm there. So then we got very excited. So whenever our phone clicked, we knew that Prabhuji is there. And we used to pick up the phone and start clicking the photographs. So he used to click photographs. And another thing, he used to make me laugh like anything. You cannot imagine. And when I started complaining, and he wrote to me that what kind of, person you are. I made you feel, I gave you so many answers. I guided you. I took your photographs, and I made you laugh like anything. And still you have so many complaints with me. So then I started apologizing, and thanking him. So I am here. And since, we all have somewhere some doubts, like nobody has seen God. We don't know if he's there or not. So all those, even slightest doubts in my mind, so in back of my mind are gone, that he's there. It's huge system, which we cannot explain. Guru Nanak Dev Ji again and again said, Nanak Antadant, Antana Paravar, Jeko Akhe Bol Vigad, Likhiye Sir Gawar Gavar. So it cannot be explained. There is, unexplainable, biggest, ultimate system around us. There are so many levels, and his system works flawlessly since he has created. The sun is never stopped for, so some rectifications, or like factories, sometimes they stop, for cleansing or something like that, for repairs. It has been since time immemorial. So the crux of the whole thing is, whatever I'm saying here is that as soon as possible, okay, it's all right. The materialistic things are important. We have come to this world because Guru Nanak's path is that you don't have to run away from here. In olden days, the saints and the rishis and munis, they used to run away because when you become alone, then, I mean, with whom you will be jealous or you will be proud? Whom will you show off? So they found this technique that let's run away. Let's be alone. Then all these things will leave us. But Guru Nanak showed this path to us, the unique path, that you have to live in this world, but live with detachment. In Gita, it said that yesterday it was somebody else's, today is you, it's with you, and tomorrow it will be with somebody else. So it's never yours. You never came with anything, you never go with anything. So what exactly are you proud of? So you have to live here, but develop that detachment. That is false. It's an illusion. It's a dream. We all see dream. Everything looks real. We are scared, we are happy, we are enjoying, we are having a picnic, or somebody chasing us, or we fell down, or there's an accident. And when we open our eyes, so it was a dream, means it was false. And we go to sleep. We just turn and go to sleep. Similarly, when you will be awakened by Lord's name, and this dream will break. We are watching a dream with open eyes. So this dream will break. And how will it break? How will we realize? How the realization will come? If you start chanting thy name. And that is a technique of Guru Nanak, that whatever it may be, you say, praise the Lord, God is great, Allahu Akbar, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Satnam Vaheguru, Mool Mantra, whatever Gayatri Mantra, Hari Om Tat Sat, whatever you say, close your eyes, face the east, and listen to your voice. You do it. I've tried it on so many people. I tried it myself, and I can't explain. I put a video. You start crying. You start crying. Those are tears of ecstasy. Those are tears of happiness, contentment. You know, it can't be explained. So many times it happened with me. So I tried with a lot of other people in UP. They were all uneducated people, and they had miracles in their life. So here I'm trying, if somebody has any question, they can ask, that start doing this. If like we have bad karmas, I can give it in guarantee that we all have bad karmas. Why? Because we are not connected with the Almighty, with our source, the Creator, the God. We are not connected with Him. That means we have a distance, we have a gap. And why we have gap? Because we have a dirt, we have pap karma. We have that, we call it amal in Urdu. So the bad karma, that mal, that dirt which we are carrying in our soul, that's what is not letting us join with the God. Cleansing processes that you have to listen to thy name, that is the only detergent in this universe which can clean the bad karma, the sins. And how to use that detergent? It goes in through your ears. There's no other way. So you have to chant and listen to your voice, let it go in and start cleansing your system, your sins. And when the cleansing takes place, you will feel the relief. Once you start feeling the relief, you will start developing the faith. And once you start developing the faith, you won't leave it. Then you go the path. Then journey is on. I only do this much. I try to do this much, that you at least start. Start in the morning. Okay, you have a problem because your prarabdha, your bhagya, your destiny, and your bad karma won't let you listen, because your mind, your brain won't be, at one place. It just keeps roaming around. What should we do about that? At night, Sukhmani Sahib, Gurbani, Shabads, whatever you get, start, put it on repeat, go to sleep. Your subconscious brain is awake at night when you're sleeping, and it listens. So 6 hours, 7 hours you sleep, that will be your meditation, ultimate meditation. You do it for 3 months and watch what happens. Put it on a very low volume so you're not used to it, should not disturb you, and watch miracles will start happening in your life. You'll be a changed person. Your perception will change. Today you see a glass half empty and you'll start seeing the glass half full. Your perception will change and everything will change. And that's what I've been, in my limited way, I've been trying to experiment on people. I tried on myself. It worked. It worked on a lot of people. We have thousands of people all over the world and their lives have changed and lives are changing. And that's why I'm here. If out of you guys, I don't know how many people are there with us today. If one life changes, I'll feel that it was worth. I tried, I came on Zoom in this meeting, and whatever God, Almighty Lord, Waheguru made me speak as a medium, it was worth it. If even one life changes today, or one person decides that from tonight to tomorrow, I'll spend 15, 20 minutes, half an hour in the morning, and in the evening, sit there, meditate, listen to my voice. That's the beginning. Then your mind starts, surat japne lagti hai, we call it surat japan lag pendi hai, and no vibration, the tongue, lips, just quietly sit and let it go on inside. Then it's a different journey, higher levels. So at night, you start doing it, put those shabas on a very low volume, put it on repeat. We have a music player in the phone itself. Just put in that and put on repeat and watch what happens in your life. You'll be amazed. Thank you. If any question, I'm there.
Mangalji, thank you so much for beautiful sharing of the journey. I would love to be the first beggar along with everybody else. May Babaji bless everybody to have the trust and faith that you are asking us to go on the journey so that we can do what is required with God's grace. Sangat, anybody, please open your mics and ask Mangalji any question you have, because it's a very precious time. I think it's a gift from the Creator himself. I think where Babaji said, "Jithe Malik da naam yaad anda, jithe naam jithe Rab da naam lende utte Rab aap hunda hai." Babaji Bani kendi Sugni Sahib. So where there is God's name, there is God present himself. So I feel that we are all lucky and blessed to be here. Please, everybody, it's the session belongs to all of us. So open and ask any question you have. And sometimes, Shekhar Bhai, we were talking in the presence of certain souls, the questions just disappear. Plus, please ask and let's enjoy Mangalji's comments. Shekhar, we cannot hear you.
Yeah, Mangalji, this is a very nice presentation. Thank you very much for sharing your experiences. I do agree with you. The thought is very important, because if you go around the world, a thought is what created Google. A thought is what created Facebook. A thought is what created Microsoft. A thought can create a whole lot of companies, process, and everything. So I do believe in it, and I thank you for reinforcing that thought process, and also giving us an opportunity in terms of what we need to follow to further our journey in terms of chanting the name. I also believe in it. I also do it on a regular basis, and I agree with you 100%. Thank you very much for reinforcing the faith and also sharing your experiences. Appreciate
Thanks
it.
a lot. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Michael, please ask the question. Go ahead, Michael. Oh, sorry. Are there?
Michael, can you ask the question?
Sure, happy to. Thank you for the long, careful thought, Mangal. It was very cool. Okay, I'm a Californian, so I can say that. Do you feel that the universe is more probabilistic or deterministic, or how do you feel about that?
Pardon? I didn't get you.
I've given lots of thought to whether or not the universe and God are probabilistic or deterministic, meaning deterministic means it's set in stone, it's going to happen that way. And the other version of it, either polarity of it, can be probabilism, where the chances of something happen a certain way are 20%, 80%. But in the moment that it happens, we choose what we're going to do. Does that make sense? Do you understand what I'm asking?
No, I'm trying to understand that it's like using probability. One word I understood, that probability. And the other word was what?
Determinism. DETER. Yeah.
Yeah, I mentioned about this, like, if I've understood you correctly, that is all determined. It's all predetermined by Almighty. There's nothing called probable, like probability. No, it's all prefixed, like I was talking about snowfalls, and each flake has got its fixed place. It will fall there only. Whatever is now happening in the world is already prefixed, predetermined by the Almighty Lord. It may be the World War III or whatever it may be, or it might be the corona or the any kind of problems which world is going to face. These are basically created by our own karma. We all are responsible for that, and we are going to be like this. It was already written that people are going, if we have the holy scriptures in India, it's already mentioned that this is the kind of people are going to be there, and this is the way they're going to behave, and ultimately it will lead to the complete destruction, or you call it doomsday. But it's all predetermined, if I've understood your question correctly.
Yes, you did. I wanted to make sure that I fed it back to you so I could hear again what you thought about it. But thank you very much.
And because of pronunciation, I hope you are able to understand my English.
Yeah, your English is very good. I don't speak your language at all, man. So you're doing great. Thank you.
Thank you.
No, there's no probability. Everything is predetermined. But Mangalji, even though, like you said, everything is predetermined, as mind, as human beings, we are always kind of going back and forth, saying, मैं सोच रहा मैं करना चाहना मेरे नाल क्यों असर हो रहा क्यों नहीं होता जो मैं करना whatever I wish to do, why things are not happening the way I think wish to happen, but not realizing that whatever creator does is much better for us. He knows his plans. We just have to just say, okay, fine. And the other thing is your 10 bullets to 10 capsules. If you want to highlight, if anybody has questions, please ask Arpan Bhai or anybody, Sonia, I know, or if you want to share your 10 bullets, that might be something very, very helpful.
No, 10 divine capsules are like, I normally in every video I say this, that, you have to go to your, places of worship, visit them, their powerhouses, and pray there, rub your nose and ask for forgiveness. Thank the Lord. You can thank him anywhere. You can ask forgiveness anywhere, but if you can go there, it's much better. And then, do some seva. Whatever you can do. Like some people say, we don't have money. I said, then you give time. And you don't, if you have time, then just do some service there and go to the Gurdwara or go to the church or be kind, help the needy. It was again told, reconfirmed from there also to me that you want happiness of God, blessing of God, kripa of God, then do these things. But Sumiran is supreme. You have to do Sumiran. So like, thank him. Again, this is tried and tested. Now, what is Wahguru? Bhai Khan Singh Nabha and Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj, whatever Hukamnamas he wrote, in that, he always wrote Wahguru. Wahguru da jaap karo. Baad mein, they made it Waheguru. So, you do Wahguru, Sumaran karo, suno usko. And then Wahguru, what is Wahguru? Wahguru is Wahguru, praise of God. Thanking him, remembering him, directly connecting with him, and pray, and your complaints disappear, because normally we all have some sort of complaints, but when you start saying Wah Guru, you forget your complaints. And who doesn't have complaints with God? A Brahmagyani, a realized soul. So you temporarily reach that point for half an hour when you're doing Wahguru. So you do that in your car, listen to Gurbani, listen to spiritual stuff, and do some charity, whatever you can do. While you're working, you are jogging, you are in the gym, you are doing any work, remember him in your heart. Just like if you are cooking and if you are saying Vaheguru in your mind, oh, God is great, you try it out, your food will be very tasty. Like in Langar, everybody is praying and cooking, and Bhog lagwa ke, they offer to the Guru, and then is distributed to the Sangat, is tasty. That is the reason. So these are 7 or 10 capsules, and the ultimate one that night just, put the shabas or spiritual stuff on repeat, holy hymns, and go to sleep. So these are Mota Moti Jagana. These are the 10 capsules, divine capsules, and a lot of people have tried and it has changed their lives. So whosoever wants, because the problem is that, we are believing that we are the in charge, whereas we are not. Now, how our brain will start understanding this thing that you are not the boss, you are not the in charge, with Gurbani. If you start chanting, if you start listening, if you start reading and listening, you will be amazed that awakening will start taking place. And then you will realize, like a lot of people try, you must have listened, a lot of people on TV channels, they say, oh, your destiny is in your hands. We carve our own destiny. There are spiritual, these motivators, spiritual motivators and some other motivators, speakers, they charge very heavily, and they pep you up. They say, oh, your destiny is in your hands, man. We can create, we can carve destiny. And people, they pay 5,000-10,000, they go there and they go home that, yes, destiny is in our hands, we can change our destiny. But they don't realize this. Like there's a law of attraction, there's a positive thinking, there's Reiki, there's so many things going on. How will you think positively when it's not there in your destiny? How will you use the law of attraction? How will you do the affirmation when it's not part of your destiny? If it was part of your destiny, somebody's part of your destiny, it was in somebody's destiny, and he tried this and he got something. Like that film was secret, the book was secret, was there. Now it was part of that person's destiny and his journey. He did it, he got it. Now he tells everybody. Everybody can't get it. If destiny was in our hands, everybody can change their destiny. Nobody wants to be poor. Nobody wants to be sick. Everybody wants to be successful. Nobody wants to be a failure, but they can't do it. So everything is predestined, is part of our destiny. Nothing is in our hands. Please, nothing is in our hands. It's all predestined. It's all pre-written. You give me your horoscope. I have some friends. I won't give you a name. He will talk about you. You'll be shocked. He will mention everything. I may start a program on my channel, Taqdeer ya Tadbir, destiny or hard work. People say it's hard work, we do this. Laborers in India work so hard. Farmers in India work so hard, and they are always under debt. And there's so many people, they never work hard. They don't know. I mean, they are billionaires. They make so much of money. Now, what I'm trying to explain here is that once we understand this, I'm not saying, like some people say, oh, you are saying it's all part of the destiny. If we don't work, how will we earn? If we don't eat, food is lying in front of us, and we have to, take the bite. We have to eat it. Mr. Dhillon, how can you say this? Now, I tell them that you are asking me question of a junior KG. It's a junior KG question. I know so many people, they were eating their food. And while eating their food, they died on the dining table, and that, the bite the person took, it was in his mouth. Ak chapkani na mile, mukh vich rahe grass. Oh, grass, muh chi reh gaya. Person died on the table, and then later on, with fingers, they took it out. That much he was supposed to eat, not more or less. It happened in Ludhiana, it happened in UP to one person, he was a comrade. Kartar Singh's name was. So it's all predestined and prefixed. It's all according to your karma, it's written in your horoscope. If you get the right kind of person who can study your horoscope, who has got, we call it phalit, predictions. Somebody has good predictions, he'll tell you everything. You'll be amazed, absolutely. You know, so how the hell this guy is reading it out without knowing you? So many people fight election here. I send him, somebody comes to me, I said, okay, you have the date of birth, the time, exact time? He said, yes. We send him. He said, this guy is not going to win. The Arvind Kejriwal, his horoscope was made, and Sheila Dikshit was, for 10 years, she was CM of Delhi. I got the horoscopes made. He said, well, Sheila Dikshit's time has gone. She won't win now. She's not going to win at all. And Arvind Kejriwal's time has started, he will win. It was there. So what I'm trying to say, that with Gurbani, with Lord's name, with chanting Lord's name, you get this realization that is all prefixed. Yeah, I mean, our mind keeps wandering everywhere and we think we are the boss. You will get this realization that you are not the boss. Boss is somebody else, that Almighty Lord. Once you realize that, you are a winner. You know, when there's a fight and one person surrenders, fight is over. Here, fight is going on. Inside, fight is going on. Outside, fight is going on. You have to surrender in front of the Almighty Lord and you are the winner. We have to surrender, and Gurbani makes you surrender. That's what they make you realize. That's the difference. So if you try that, eventually we have to surrender sooner or later. If you surrender, you are a winner. All those tapasvis, those rishis, munis, saints, they did tap, that penance, for years and for ages and for lives, so many lives. Then came that ultimate moment in their lives when they could surrender in front of that Lord. So we have to surrender in front of that Almighty. That is the ultimate victory. And if we think that I will do this and I will do that, then we keep suffering. We are suffering and we will suffer. We'll continue suffering. So we should try to avoid that. Tu karta karuna mein nahi, jahan kari so hoi. Jahan kari na hoi. Jo main karunga, wo hona nahi hai. So, Tuada Sarana bahut bahut dhanwad. Thank you very much for tolerating me for so long, because I have only this job. God has, Guru has given me. People ask me, what is your business? This is my business. If you read our posters, it's written in bold letters, merchants of thy name. We are merchants of thy name. We do business of his name, because that is the ultimate business. No business is like business of thy name, you know. So this is what we do. And when you start talking about him, whatever you may try, it's not enough. It's not enough. We just keep trying. You guys also try, because, you know, life is just passed by. One day you will realize the time is up. Like in our films, they say cut. Director says cut. And he is the ultimate director. He never changes his script. And nobody can change his script. He is the ultimate writer. He is the ultimate creator. So changes if there is a mistake. And he does everything flawless. So there's no point of changing it. So surrender. And he is the ultimate power. He is the ultimate source. So we have to just surrender, thank him, go to his door. Time is running. You know, I always say that once your time is over, and if you say that your breaths, like his counting with you is according to breaths, not minutes or seconds. Breaths, how many breaths you got? Once your breaths you have taken, you're gone. Now, once your breaths are over, whatever number of breaths you got, you have taken them, consumed them. Your breaths are over. At that point, if you give entire wealth of this universe and you say, give me one breath, it won't be available. It's that expensive. And what we do with that breath? Nonsense, rubbish, all the time gossiping and watching nonsense and all that. So we should not waste time. Like, look at your age, my age. Life is behind us. We have spent 50, 60 years just collecting money and working hard like a horse, 24/7. And all these children for whom we earned, we worked like dogs. I always mention about Balmiki ji. Balmiki ji was a dacoit, and he caught hold of certain saints, and he was going to rob them. And they asked him that we don't have much stuff to rob, but in any case, if you want to rob it, but it's a sin, and you have to pay for it. And for whom you are committing these sins? He said, for my family. He said, will your family share those punishments which you're going to get for these sins? He said, well, I never thought about it. Okay. He told his other companions that just keep check on them. I'll just go and ask my family. He went home and asked them that those saints we have caught, and they are asking me this question. So will you guys share those punishments with me, which I'm committing these sins for you guys? And will you share? And they said, why? You are committing sins and you go through the punishment. Why we are going to share the punishment with you? He came back. He became an ultimate saint. And the quiet became ultimate saint. And we think we are very intelligent people. We are educated people. And we all the time committing sins and lying and doing dishonesty. For whom? For those children, for that family. And we are harming them also, because that money is not going to, it's not going to be good for them, because they have to pay for that. You have to pay for that. Your generations have to pay for that. So we have done enough for them. Now say goodbye to them. Be around if you want to be, but spend your time, because what we are going to take with us, that is thy name. Now I mare na thage ja jinke ram base man maaye. Become one with Lord. मैं अक्सर कहना है कि जे जाऊंदे जी मुक्त ना होए ते मर के मुक्त नहीं होना. Forget that after that you will get freedom. You have to be free before you die. ठीक है जी. Thank you. मैं तो लगा रहूंगा भाई. तुसी अपना टाइम देख लो.
मंगल जी बहुत 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 बड़ी मेहरबानी. सब दी तरफों और मेरी तरफों भी मालिक रहमत करन, मेरे पर नजर बख्शन, अपनी बख्शीश बख्शन, क्योंकि उन्हां दी रहमत और उन्हां दी बख्शीश है सब कुछ हैगा. साडी करमी च और साडे कर्मा जो लिखिया नहीं लिखिया मालिक जानदा. जब उदी रहमत होगी उसने फिर करम नहीं तकने ते गड्डी बार टट्टू बार कर देना सब दा. ते अगर कोई तरीका हो गया उदी रहमत मंगन दा, बख्शीश मंगन दा, सानू दस दो. ਅਸੀਂ ਭਿਖਾਰੀ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ. ਸਾਡੇ ਮਾਤਾ ਜੀ ਇੱਥੇ ਬੈਠੇ ਹੋਏ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ. she is 91 years old. ਹਾਂਜੀ,
ਉਹ ਤਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਬੜੀ ਵਾਰੀ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਚੰਗੇ ਕਰਮ, ਰੱਬ ਦਾ ਨਾਮ, ਚੰਗੇ ਕਰਮ, ਦਇਆ, ਪੁੰਨ, ਦਾਨ, ਸੇਵਾ, ਮਾਫੀ, ਧੰਨਵਾਦ. ਉਹ ਜਿਹੜੇ 10 ਕੈਪਸੂਲ ਤਕਰੀਬਨ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਹ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਝ ਉਹਦਾ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਮਿਲਦੀ ਹੈਗੀ. ਉਹ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਮਿਲੇਗੀ, ਦੇਖਣਾ, you'll get the blessing of God. You try this.
ਤੇਰਾ ਮਾਈਕ ਬੰਦ ਹੈ. ਹਾਂਜੀ ਕੋਕੀ, ਤੇਰਾ ਮਾਈਕ ਬੰਦ ਹੈ. ਮਾਮਾ ਇੱਕ ਕੋਕੀ. हाँ क्योंकि मामा एक बार मंगल जी ने गल करनी है जी.
हाँ गल करना चाहता है. नहीं तुसी गल मैं ते मंगल जी नु totally transformed देखना when you worked with the Tom Alter.
हाँ जी. I was there in that serial called Junoon
and Butler.
Yeah, I was Butler. My journey started from Butler, but in that also Raja Sahab.
It's a wonderful journey. So you shared your journey. We all will try to have some a kind of a little bit piece of this information to transform our journey too, with it like that.
Mangal, my mom is here today. So she's lucky and blessed. We are lucky and blessed to have her. Kalina ne jada छोटे सीगे मालिक नाल जोड़िया. पहला गुरदास जान सिंह बंगला साहब, फिर हरिया बाबा जी जांदे रहे. It's just a journey, and we are lucky and blessed to have you guys and be part of the family here.
बहुत अच्छा बेटा, बहुत अच्छा. माने नाम लेना, उन्हां नाल जुड़ना, उन्हां नाल गल्लां जिस तरह उन्होंने आज क्या उन्हां नाल गल्लां हुंदियां ने, हो सकदियां ने, करीदियां. ऐसी कोई गल नहीं. जो कुछ मंगी दा ओदे कोलों मंगी दा, उन्हां गल्लां भी करीदियां. हर चीज मंगी दी है, ओ दिंदा भी है. कोई गल ही नहीं कि जिस तरह उन्होंने बिल्कुल किया कि सानू थॉट ही हुंदा. साडे थॉट आंदे ने, ओ ट्रू हो जांदे ने. उन्हां नाल असीं गल्लां करदे. ए गल बिल्कुल ओदियां दातां ने सब कुछ उस दाते ने दित्ता है.
ਬਹੁਤ
ਅਸੀਂ
ਅੱਛਾ
ਤੇ ਕੁਛ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੇ, ਅਸੀਂ ਕੁਛ ਨਹੀਂ। ਬਸ ਨਾਮ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਜਪੋ, ਬੰਨਾ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਦਾ ਨਾਮ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਜਪੋ, ਸਤਨਾਮ।
ਜੀ, ਜਿੰਨਾ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਜਪ ਸਕੀਏ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਚੰਗਾ ਹੈ।
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਹਾਂਜੀ ਰਾਜੇ,
ਬਿਕੋਜ਼ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਸਾਡੀ ਹੁਣ ਸਟੇਜ ਹੈ ਨਾ
ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਲਾਈਫ ਦੀ,
ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਹੁਣ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਸਟੇਜ ਹੈ, ਕਿਸੇ ਕੋਲੇ 5 ਸਾਲ ਹੈ, ਕਿਸੇ ਕੋਲੇ 10 ਸਾਲ ਹੈ,
ਕੋਈ ਪਤਾ
ਠੀਕ
ਹੀ
ਹੈ,
ਨਹੀਂ ਲੱਗਦਾ।
like about me, I know when I have to go, you know, so 1 or 2 years before I'll start preparing for that, you know,
ਹਾਂਜੀ
because I won't meet people, I will be all the time just chanting thy name, remembering him, be with him, you know, because ਮੈਨੂੰ ਵਾਪਸ, you know, ਵਾਪਸ ਨਾ ਆਉਣਾ ਪਵੇ. If you have something left here, you have to come back. You have to go through that process again. ਗਰਭ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਉਣਾ ਹੈਗਾ, ਫਿਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪੈਦਾ ਹੋਣਾ, ਫਿਰ ਉਹੀ ਪੈਰਾਂ ਤੇ ਰੇੜਨਾ ਹੈਗਾ, ਗੰਦਗੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਪੈ ਰਹਿਣਾ ਹੈਗਾ, ਫਿਰ ਵੱਡੇ ਹੋਣਾ, ਸਕੂਲ ਜਾਣਾ ਹੈ, ਤਾਂ ਵਾਪਸ ਨਾ ਆਉਣਾ ਪਵੇ। ਬਟ ਉਹ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਬੇਸਿਕ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਮੁਕਤੀ ਹੈ, ਉਹਦੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਯੂ ਹੈਵ ਟੂ ਜਿੰਨਾ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਜਪ ਸਕੋ। ਮੈਂ ਸਪੈਸ਼ਲੀ ਓਲਡ ਏਜ ਹੋਮ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਾਣਾ ਹੈਗਾ, ਜਿੰਨੇ ਵੀ ਬਜ਼ੁਰਗ ਲੋਕ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਾਣਾ ਹੈ, I always tell them that, especially for old, ਮੈਂ ਤੇ ਵੀਡੀਓ ਹੀ ਪਾਇਆ old people ਵਾਸਤੇ, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਏਜਡ ਹੈ, ਕਿ ਕਿੰਨਾ ਟਾਈਮ ਰਹੇਗਾ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲੇ। If we divide our life in 4 phases, we are in the last phase. So 3 phases we spend for our family, for this materialistic world, everything. At least this last phase we should devote to the Almighty Lord, you know. And still we don't devote this last phase also to him, then we are going to be punished, and we deserve the punishment, you know. It's as simple as that.
ਅੱਗੇ 84 ਲੱਖ ਜੂਨ ਭੋਗ ਕੇ ਆਇਆ, ਹੁਣ ਕਿਤੇ ਨਾ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਜਾਵੇ, ਆਪਣੇ ਚਰਨਾਂ ਚ ਲੈ ਜਾਏ ਬਸ।
ਜੀ
ਬਹੁਤ ਕੁਝ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਹੈ।
Thank you.
ਬਹੁਤ ਮਿਹਰਬਾਨੀ।
ਬਹੁਤ ਮਿਹਰਬਾਨੀ।
Thank you, everybody.
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ।
Mangal, thank you very much.
Thank you.
ਕਦੀ ਆ ਜਾਇਆ ਕਰੋ।
ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਜੀ, ਜ਼ਰੂਰ। ਠੀਕ ਹੈ, ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ।
ਓਕੇ ਜੀ।